Hi everyone, Sneemaster here with a review of the MISC Fortune. The Fortune was released in 2024 as a new single-player salvage ship. The Fortune is based on the design of the MISC Prospector. It looks and functions very similarly to the Prospector, but is a competitor to the Drake Vulture. The Fortune is a relatively small ship at 16 meters wide, 26 meters long, and 7 meters high, the same as the Prospector. The Fortune has a crew of 1. There is a ladder on the port side that drops down for the player to enter the living quarters of the ship. The one problem is there is no airlock on this side, so anyone entering this section would remove the air from it. In the living quarters section there is a bed for logging out. Underneath the bed is gear stowage of 900K micro SCU. In this section is a small bathroom with shower, toilet, and sink in it. There is also a mini kitchen and a fire extinguisher. There are also various components you can access in this section. In front of this section there is a bubble cockpit with excellent visibility. You can see all around you without any struts, including being able to look down, which makes it great for looking at salvage. There are holographic displays for the MFDs up top. Behind the living quarters is a salvage section. In the salvage section, you can extract salvage material into containers that can be automatically stored on the sides of the ship using a computer terminal. You can also use the salvage material to create a multi-tool and multi-tool attachments. Behind this area is the cargo section. It has an elevator that leads to the ground from the rear of the ship with a small area to store small boxes. With a bit of effort, you can store a small hover vehicle here like the Mirai Pulse. There's also more component access in this section. The Fortune has 3 size 1 shields, same as the MISC Prospector, but it has a higher hull health than it. In fact, it has more hull health than even Freelancers or the Drake Vulture. The extra hull strength slows the Fortune down a bit. It has an SCM speed of 143 meters a second and a nav speed of 975 meters a second. This is a bit slower than the Prospector or the Drake Vulture. It also is less maneuverable than those same ships. The Fortune carries 21 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 1.8 SCU of quantum fuel. The hydrogen fuel amount isn't amazing, but the quantum fuel is pretty high, so it'll allow you to travel very long distances in quantum before needing refueling. There are also 4 VTOL engines on the Fortune for landing and taking off in high gravity. For weaponry, the MISC Fortune has 2 gimbal size 1 laser repeaters. They won't do a lot of damage against other ships, but may help to drop the shields of a ship enough to get you a chance to escape, or can be used against light ground targets. The most important feature of the ship is the salvage arm. It's located under the cockpit and similar to the Drake Vulture salvage arms. It comes with a size 1 scraper and size 1 tractor beam. Compared to the Vulture, the Fortune only has 1 salvage arm, while there are 2 on the Vulture, so it can sometimes take a little bit longer to salvage ships. The salvage arm will scrape hull material into RMC, and it can dissolve ship frames into construction material. The Fortune can carry up to 12 SCU of cargo on the external cargo plating, up to 6 SCU per side. It can also carry 4 SCU of internal cargo in the rear cargo section on a small cargo grid that sits on the elevator. So that's a total of 16 SCU of cargo, a little more than the Drake Vulture. It has a method to process the internally stored RMC and construction material into cargo boxes and affix them to the external plating, but you can also manually place boxes in the rear as well. The salvage containers can then be sold in many space stations or at TDD locations in major cities. Weapons, components, and missiles that you pull off the ships can be stored in the rear cargo section for sale later too. The MISC Fortune runs for $175 in time-limited sales or $160 in Warbond. It's not cheap for a small ship and the same price as the Drake Vulture. The Fortune is not available to buy in-game yet, but that should probably happen in the next major patch, like patch 4.2. The ship comes default with a shiny metallic paint scheme similar to the Prospector. There are also other paints available. There are 2 Red Festival paints, the Auspicious Red Pig and Auspicious Red Snake, only available during that event. There is the Blue and Gray High Tide paint, and the Green Highlander paint, only available for the Spring Celebration. Concierge members can buy the Gray and Orange Sunspot paint. Backers who achieve Tier 3 in Supplier Die event can get the Gray and Neon Green Outcast paint. Finally, everyone can buy the White and Gray Luminance paint, the Gray and Beige Reserve paint, and the Copper Windfall paint. The MISC Fortune is a great salvage ship. It's not as fast or as maneuverable as the Drake Vulture, but it's comfortable for long voyages, and the external cargo makes it very quick to unload. You don't have to lug the boxes outside the ship manually like you do with the Vulture, but it's at the risk of the cargo getting stolen if the shields go down. The Fortune is great at getting up close to ships as it doesn't have the long arms the Drake Vulture has, and the Fortune cockpit has a large canopy to look around you better. The lack of a second salvage arm compared to the Vulture does make it slightly less versatile, as you don't have the second setup to switch to, but it's not really necessary. You can make some good money with a Fortune salvaging hulls and frames of ships, as well as any cargo, components, or weapons they may have been carrying. You can attach any cargo boxes you find to the outside of the ship, or put them in the back of the ship if they are small enough. The Fortune is also small enough that you can carry it on large vessels with hangars such as the RSI Polaris, 890 Jump, and Volcaric, and possibly future ships like the Drake Ironclad, RSI Galaxy, and others. It would be good to carry the Fortune in other tougher ships when traveling in dangerous areas, as the Fortune is not designed for combat and is relatively slow. Orgs with large enough ships can definitely take advantage of carrying multiple Fortunes to swarm targets, especially if you have carrier ships like the Anvil Liberator, Aegis Idris, or Drake Kraken that could carry many of them. Pirates and scavengers in particular would benefit from a swarm of Fortunes after a battle. Orgs could have a big cargo ship nearby to carry the salvage cargo boxes as you process them, so you can save time from flying back to a station every time your ship is full. Just have someone grab the boxes with a tractor beam from the outside of the ship and then keep salvaging. The Fortune can also be used for basic exploration purposes or handheld salvaging. Long-range quantum fuel tanks, comfortable living quarters, and the ability to store cargo externally are very useful when looking for interesting objects, especially if you carry a small hover bike in the back. You can also use the guns on the ship to clear infantry that are guarding landing zones before you land, but it won't be as useful against larger targets. Remember, don't take the Fortune into ship combat if you can help it. The heavy armor and 3 shields can withstand quite a bit of damage, but practically any ship can outrun the Fortune in SCM speed, and you won't out-dodge them either with a slower turning speed. You also won't be dodging missiles with the ship, and missiles right now do a ton of damage due to some bugs in current patches. So all in all, the MISC Fortune is a great all-around single-person salvage ship, and it can be used to work well with other ships too. It's not cheap, but it's a good competitor to the Drake Vulture. Alright, so that's it for the MISC Fortune review. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump in as Star Citizen, and you'll get an extra 5,000 in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. Please check out my Patreon membership to help me make more videos. All patrons and members will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get access to my Discord channel. From there, you can tell me what you'd like to see next. So feel free to sign up and let me know. Okay, catch you all next time.